Screen is visible, students? Screen is visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Take this example. If a particular field is given by, I'll just dictate it, f bar is equal to x plus 2y plus az, ax bar plus, it is here, you can see here, fx is here, x plus 2y plus az, ax bar plus bx minus 3y minus z, ay bar plus 4x plus cy, it is here fz, 4x plus cy plus 2z, az bar. Then find the constants a, b and c such that the field is irrotational. Note down this example. If a particular field is given by f bar is equal to, it is here, x plus 2y plus az into ax bar plus fy is bx minus 3y minus z ay bar plus fz is 4x plus cy plus 2z into az bar. Then find the constants a, b and c such that the field is irrotational. Note down quickly. Taken? Statement?
Sir, 1 minute, sir, 1 minute. Taken, sir.
Okay. They have asked to find the constants a, b and c such that the field is irrotational. Whatever field they have given f bar, that is irrotational. The given vector field is irrotational if its curl is 0. If the curl of the given vector is 0, then that vector is said to be irrotational. Right? When the vector is said to be irrotational, if the curl of the vector is 0, then the vector field is said to be irrotational. It is del cross of f bar. Curl is del cross f bar is equal to 0. This del cross f bar is equal to, write it in the determinant form, ax bar, ay bar, az bar, dou by dou x, dou by dou y, dou by dou z, fx, fy, fz. Then expand the determinant, we get dou fz by dou y minus dou fy by dou z into ax bar plus this row will go and this column will go, dou fz by dou x minus dou fx by dou z. So if you take it the other way, if you multiply minus inside, you will get dou fx by dou z minus dou fz by dou x ay bar plus last one az bar. This row and this column will go dou fy by dou x minus dou fx by dou y into az bar. This is equal to 0. Curl of the given vector is 0. Then we get dou fz by dou y minus dou fy by dou z. If the curl is 0, then means the coordinates of x, y and z must be 0. Hence, dou fz by dou y minus dou fy by dou z, that is equal to dou fx by dou z minus dou fz by dou x, that is equal to dou fy by dou x minus dou fx by dou y, that is equal to 0. Okay, if the curl is 0, that means the component of x, y and z are supposed to be 0, and hence these terms are equated to 0. Now they have given fx, fy and fz. Fx is x plus 2y plus az. Fy is bx minus 3y minus z. Fz is 4x plus cy plus 2z. And differentiate z, this is the z with respect to y. Dou fz by dou y, that will be, if we differentiate this with respect to z, what we'll get? We'll get with respect to y, sorry, with respect to y, this will be c, right? X and z are constants, they will become 0. Then differentiate y with respect to z. Y with respect to z, this term, if we differentiate, we get, that is with respect to z, minus 1. Bx and 3y, they are constants, they will become 0. Hence it is c minus 1 equal to 0, or c is equal to 1. Then next one, dou fx by dou z minus dou fz by dou x. Differentiate with respect to z, fx. If we differentiate fx with respect to z, it will be a. Then x plus 2y, they are constants, it will become 0. Then differentiate z with respect to x. This is z with respect, z with respect to x, will get minus 4. So this minus dou fz by dou x, it is minus 4. Cy and 2z, they will become 0 because they are constants. A minus 4 equal to 0, therefore we'll get a is equal to 4. Then the last term, dou fy by dou x minus dou fx by dou y. Differentiate y with respect to x, that is this term, y with respect to x, we get b. Then minus 3y minus z, it will be 0. Then similarly minus dou fx by dou y, this will be differentiate x with respect to y, we'll get 2 here. X and az are constants, they will become 0. Therefore b minus 2 equal to 0, or b is equal to 2. Hence we have found out the constants, that is a, b and c, as a is equal to 4, b is equal to 2 and c equal to 1. Like this we have to find out the constants if they mention the condition that the vector field is irrotational, and find the given constants. If it is irrotational, the curl of the vector equated to 0, so that when you expand the determinant and equate it to 0 each coefficients of x, y and z, then after differentiating and simplifying, we will get the values of the constants a, b and c. Okay. Note down the steps here. Note down these steps. Taken? Noted. Completed?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right. Okay. The second example, if the magnetic field intensity in a region is h bar is equal to 3y minus 2 az cap plus 2x ay cap, find the current density at the origin. This is az cap and ay cap, they are as good as az bar and ay bar. Right? In some of the books, they use the notation az cap and ay cap, and in some books, they use the notation az bar and ay bar. Both are one and the same. The magnetic field intensity in a region is h bar is equal to 3y minus 2 into az bar plus 2x ay bar. Find the current density at the origin. Note down the statement. Taken?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What they have asked here, if the magnetic field intensity in a region, they have given the h bar, that is magnetic field intensity they have given. Find the current density at the origin. We know that J bar is equal to del cross H bar, the curl equation. J bar is del cross H bar. Okay, that is the point form of Ampere's circuital law or the Maxwell's first equation. Okay, J bar is equal to del cross H bar. So J bar will be equal to, in determinant form, AX bar, AY bar, AZ bar, dou by dou X, dou by dou Y, dou by dou Z. Then the coordinates of H bar, coordinate of X component is 0, then Y component is 2X, Z component is 3Y minus 2. Okay, so this is in the determinant form. Then expand it, we'll get AX bar into dou by dou Y of, that is 3y minus 2 minus dou by dou z of 2x, and minus ay bar. This row and this column will go. Dou by dou x of 3y minus 2 minus 0 into dou by dou z is 0. Then this is plus az bar. This row and this column will go. Therefore, we'll get dou by dou x of 2x minus 0. Then simplify it, we'll get the final equation. Okay. First, take it in the determinant form and expand it and tell me the answer. Take this determinant, expand the determinant and tell me the equation. Now expand the determinant and tell me the equation.
Sir, the equation is
Yes,
3x
please.
bar plus 2az bar.
Correct. 3ax bar plus 2az bar ampere per meter square. Correct. That is ax bar into whatever this equation is there, then minus ay bar plus az bar. If we expand it, differentiation of this with respect to y, that is 3 we will get. This is 0, differentiation of 2 is 0, minus dou by dou z of 2x is 0, and minus ay bar, differentiation of 3y minus 2 with respect to x is 0, minus 0, plus az bar, differentiation of 2x with respect to x is 2. Therefore, we'll get, on simplification, j bar is equal to 3ax bar plus 2az bar ampere per meter square. Now, what about at the origin? They have asked the current density at the origin. Origin is x comma y comma z. It is in Cartesian system. It is 0 comma 0 comma 0. X comma y comma z. It is 0 comma 0 comma 0. There is no x component or y component or z component here in the equation. There is no x term or y term or z term, and hence the current density equation is the same. That is j bar is equal to 3ax bar plus 2az bar ampere per meter square at the origin. Origin means x comma y comma z, that will be equal to 0 comma 0 comma 0. Then substitute x, y and z as 0 0 0, but there is no x, y and z, that is coordinates, coefficients with respect to ax bar, ay bar and az bar, and hence we'll get the same equation, that is j bar is equal to 3ax bar plus 2az bar ampere per meter square. Right? I hope everyone have noted down here up till this step, last step. Okay, it's just a simplification. We'll move on to the third example. Given h bar is equal to 20 r square a5 bar ampere per meter, determine the current density j bar. Also determine the total current that crosses the surface r equal to 1 meter. 0 is less than 5, that is less than 2 pi, and z equal to 0 in cylindrical coordinates. They have clearly mentioned that it is in cylindrical coordinates. Right? Sometimes even if they don't mention also, then you have to see the coordinates, whatever is being given, it is given in r square a5 bar ampere per meter. That is r, phi and z is given. That means it is cylindrical coordinate system. The first and foremost step that is to be done is to find out in which coordinate the equations are given. Right? Here the equations are given in that is cylindrical coordinate system. This is the first and foremost step. Once you will identify it is in which coordinate system, then apply the required equations and then solve and simplify so that you will get the final answer. Take the problem statement. Taken. Did you all note down?
Yes, sir.
Read the given question. Given h bar is equal to 20 r square a5 bar ampere per meter. Magnetic field intensity is given. Determine the current density j bar. They have asked to find the equation or the value of j bar, current density. Second part of the numerical, also determine the total current that crosses the surface. The total current that crosses the surface region or the boundary is given by r equal to 1 meter. 0 is less than 5, that is less than 2 pi, and z equal to 0 in cylindrical coordinates. Okay, let us find the first part of the question, that is to determine the current density j bar. We know that from the point form of Ampere's circuital law, j bar is given by del cross h bar. From the point form of Ampere's circuital law, j bar is equal to del cross h bar. The equation for j bar, what is the equation? Just go back and recollect. Here is the cylindrical coordinate system. Curl, that is del cross h bar, is given by 1 upon r ar bar r a5 bar az bar dou by dou r dou by dou phi dou by dou z and hr r h phi hz in the determinant form. Okay, this is the determinant that you all have to remember for the curl equation, del cross h bar in cylindrical coordinate system. Now apply this curl equation or the determinant to simplify the given statement. That is j bar is equal to del cross h bar, that is 1 by r, and ar bar r a5 bar az bar dou by dou r dou by dou phi dou by dou z. And what is the term here? hr. It is here, the term is hr r h phi hz, hr r h phi hz. Hence it is hr is 0. There is no r term, there is only a5 bar term, that is 20 r square. It is r into a5. Okay, that is r into 20 r square will be 20 r cube. If you look here in this equation, determinant r h phi, r into h phi, then hz. Correct? R h phi means you will get it as r into 20 r square. That is coefficient of a5. That will be 20 r cube, then 0. Then expand this 1 upon r dou by dou phi into 0, that is 0, minus dou by dou z of 20 r cube. Okay, 20 r cube into ar bar. Then this row and this column goes. So dou by dou r of 0 minus dou by dou z of 0 into a5 bar. Then this first row and the last column will go. Therefore, we will get dou by dou r of 0, this row and this column. So it is dou by dou r of 20 r cube minus 0 into dou by dou phi. If we simplify this, then we'll get 1 upon r into 0 is 0 minus this term, that is dou by dou z of 20 r cube is how much? What is dou by dou z of 20 r cube? Differentiation of
0,
r
sir.
cube with respect to 0, because it's a constant. Yes, the entire term is constant. Into ar bar plus 0 minus 0 into a5 bar, then 1 upon r dou by dou r of 20 r cube. Now differentiate 20 r cube with respect to r. Take 20 outside, it is constant. 20 by r, differentiate r cube with respect to r. What is the differentiation of r cube with respect to r? It is of which form? X raised to n form. It is n into x raised to n minus 1. That is differentiation of r cube with respect to r. How much you will get? 3r square. Okay, so 3 into 20 is 60. 60 r square by r, 1 r and 1 r will cancel, and 1 r will remain in the numerator. Therefore, this will be plus 60 r az bar, plus 60 r into this term az bar. This will be equal to 60 r az bar. Okay, therefore j bar is equal to del cross h bar, that is 60 r az bar ampere per meter square. We have found out the equation for the current density j bar. Then the second part of the problem, coming to the second part, they have asked to find total current that crosses the given surface. Total current enclosed is given by the equation I is equal to closed surface integral j bar dot ds bar. Closed surface integral j bar dot ds bar, because current density is current per unit area, ds and ds will cancel, LHS will be equal to RHS. Correct? J bar is I by ds, ds and ds will cancel, LHS is equal to RHS. Therefore, I is equal to closed surface integral j bar dot ds bar, where ds bar is, now to find this ds bar, This is in cylindrical coordinate system. In cylindrical coordinate system, in which direction we have to take? The axis of the cylinder is in which direction? Z direction. Right? It is in the Z direction. So as it is in the Z direction, it is the perpendicular direction is Z. Therefore, the other coordinates will be dr and r d phi. This we have studied in module 1. Yes, in module 1 for the cylindrical coordinate system, if the perpendicular direction is Z, that is AZ bar, then the area is given by dr into r d phi into AZ bar. Dr is for the r coordinate, then the angle phi will become r d phi. That is, it is the subtending angle, the angle subtended by the arc. That will be r into d phi, then into az bar. Therefore, we'll get ds bar is equal to r d phi dr az bar or r dr d phi az bar. Then substitute this ds bar in the equation for I. I is equal to integration from phi equal to 0 to 2 pi, because it's the angle, it is from 0 to 360 degrees. Then r equal to 0 to 1. The given value of r is 1 meter here, small r, radius r equal to 0 to 1. Write the equation for that is j bar, it is 60 r az bar dot ds bar is r dr d phi az bar. Az bar dot az bar, it is 1. Okay, therefore the what is remaining, integration from 0 to 2 pi, integration from 0 to 1, 60 r dot r. What is dot product of the same vector? If it is dot product of r dot r, it is r square. This is the vector identity that we have discussed in module 2, right? If we are dotting the vector with the same vector, we'll get the square of that vector. So r dot r is r square, 60 r square dr d phi. Then apply the integral phi equal to 0 to 2 pi d phi, integration of d phi, then integral 0 to 1, 60 r square dr. That is integration of d phi with respect to phi is pi. Over the limits 0 to 2 pi, it will be 2 pi minus 0, that is 2 pi. Then integration from 0 to 1, 60 r square with respect to r. It will be, it is of x raised to n form. Integration is x raised to n plus 1 divided by n plus 1. It is 60 r cube by 3 over the limits 0 to 1. This will be equal to 2 pi into 60, r value is 1, upper limit 60 by 3 into r cube, 1 minus 0, so it will be 60 by 3. 3 ones are 3 20s are, so 20 into 2 pi is 40 pi ampere. So the answer for the total current enclosed by the given area in the cylindrical coordinate system is 40 pi ampere. Fine. Now this is how we are supposed to solve this particular example. So such examples may be asked in the examination for about 5 or 6 marks. Note down the steps here, students. Note down the steps.
Sir, can you explain the last step, sir? That second part, sir.
Okay, I'll come to that. Total current enclosed is given by the equation I is equal to closed surface integral j bar dot ds bar. J bar is the current per unit area, current density. How is current density defined? Current density is the current per unit area. It is I divided by ds. Okay, so I divided by ds. ds and ds will cancel. Therefore, LHS is I. RHS will also be equal to I. Right. Therefore, I can write the equation for current I as the closed surface integral j bar dot ds bar. What is ds bar? ds bar is r dr d phi az bar. This we have to go back to our module 1. Okay, in the module 1 we have discussed that the area of the cylinder in the cylindrical coordinate system, we have discussed that if the perpendicular direction is az bar, if the perpendicular direction is in the along the z direction, then the area of the surface formed is given by the product of the sides. One side is given by dr, one side, right? It's as good as a rectangle, dr, and another side will be r into d phi. That is the arc. We'll get the arc, the curve we will get. Try to recollect that. So one side is dr, another side is r d phi. So dr into r d phi, dr into r d phi. Then az bar is the perpendicular direction. Az bar is the perpendicular direction. Therefore, the equation for the area ds bar will be r dr d phi az bar. Then substitute this ds bar in the equation for current. We'll get I is equal to integration from phi equal to 0 to 2 pi. It is the entire angle one full complete rotation. So 0 to 360 degrees complete angle. Then radius they have given here up till 1 meter r value, radius value, that is 0 to 1 meter. That is j bar is already we have found out that in the first part of the problem. 60 r az bar, write it. J bar is 60 r az bar dot with ds bar. Ds bar is r dr d phi az bar. If you perform az bar dot az bar, it is 1. Dot product of the unit vector with itself is unity, right? Then next what we are supposed to do, r dot r is r square. If you perform the dot product of the vector with itself, it is r square. If you perform the dot product of the unit vector with itself, it is 1. But the dot product of any vector with itself will be square of the vector, that is the vector identity. Okay, that is, here we'll get 60 r square dr d phi, 60 r square dr d phi. Therefore integration from phi equal to 0 to 2 pi d phi, integration from 0 to 160 r square dr. Integration of d phi with respect to phi is, that is pi, over the limit 0 to 2 pi. 2 pi minus 0 will be 2 pi. Then 60 r square with respect to r dr, that will be 60 r cube by 3, x raised to n form, x raised to n plus 1 by n plus 1. Then if we simplify this, then we will get 40 pi ampere. Okay, it is clear now? Is it clear now?
Got it, sir.
Okay, right. Noted down the steps, students. All of you noted down the steps. If you have not noted down the steps, note down quickly.
Noted down, sir.
Okay, good. Let us move on to the fourth example. This example I will just try out for homework. The magnetic field energy is given by h bar is equal to 0.1 y cube ax bar plus 0.4 az x az bar ampere per meter. Determine current flow through the path P1 of 5,4,1 to P2 of 5,6,1 to P3 of 0,6,1 to P4 of 0,4,1 and current density J bar. Note down the problem statement. Take it for homework. Taken? Take down the statement and try it for homework. You have to apply the same law, that is Ampere's circuital law, to this path, right? And then accordingly you have to find the equation for the current. Find the equation for the current. You'll get the magnitude of current once you apply the Ampere's circuital law here, and then find the equation for the current density J bar, the second part of the problem. First they are asking determine current flow through the path and the current density J bar. Current density J bar is given by I by area, that is current per unit area, I divided by area. Whatever current you have found out, that divided by area, that gives the value of the current density. Okay. Right. The next one is Stokes theorem. In electrostatics, we have discussed about the divergence theorem. What is divergence theorem? Can anybody recollect divergence theorem?
Sir, close into
Yes.
sir, close integral of d bar dot ds equals to
Yes.
del dot v into dv.
Correct. Exactly. Very good. So the closed surface integral of the electric flux density with respect to surface is equal to the volume integral of the divergence of the electric flux density with respect to the volume. Okay. So this is the divergence theorem in electrostatics. Similarly, we have Stokes theorem in magnetostatics. What does the divergence theorem do? The divergence theorem, it establishes, it is the relationship between the surface integral and the volume integral. We can convert from surface integral to volume integral, or from volume integral to surface integral. Similarly, in magnetostatics, we are studying the Stokes theorem. This Stokes theorem relates the line integral to the surface integral. That means we can convert from line integral to surface integral, or from surface integral to line integral. Accordingly, the statement of the Stokes theorem is, the Stokes theorem states that the line integral of a vector A around a closed path L, the line integral of the vector A around a closed path L is equal to the integral of the curl of that vector, is equal to the integral of the curl of the vector A over the surface S enclosed by the closed path L. The line integral of the vector A bar around a closed path L is equal to the integral of the curl of A bar is equal to the integral of curl del cross A bar, the integral of curl of A bar over the surface, that is over the surface S enclosed by the closed path L. Okay, this is a statement of Stokes theorem, one of the important theorems. Many times they have asked the proof of Stokes theorem in the examination. This is the statement of the Stokes theorem. Then next is we have to prove it. Proof of Stokes theorem. Let us consider the surface. This is the surface that we are considering, which is splitted into number of incremental surfaces. The surface is splitted into number of incremental surfaces delta S. Each incremental surface is having area delta S as shown in this figure. Each incremental surface has the area of delta S, and the next figure that we are seeing is the curl, that is the rotating field. Okay, rotating field. And once we analyze this, we'll come to know that the rotating field along the inner boundaries will cancel out each other because they are in opposite directions. As you can see here, this is in the downward direction, this is in the upward direction at this boundary. Then when we come to this boundary, it is in the downward and this is in the upward, so both will cancel out each other. And what will remain? Only the field along the boundary, along the outer surface, that will remain. Okay, that we'll see next. Applying the definition of the curl to any of the incremental surfaces, we can write the equation as del cross h bar with respect to the n, that is equal to closed surface integral of h bar dot dl bar delta s upon delta s. It is the curl of the field, magnetic field intensity, is equal to the closed surface integral of h bar dot dl bar delta s divided by delta s. How we got this equation? According to the Ampere's law, we know that I is equal to closed integral h bar dot dl bar. Right? That is the Ampere's law, Ampere's circuital law. Then I bar divided by delta s is current density. I bar divided by delta S is current density, that is J bar, and further J bar is equal to del cross H bar. J bar is equal to del cross H bar. H bar dot dl bar delta S, this is nothing but current I. in the numerator. So it is I divided by delta S. I divided by delta S is nothing but J bar. It is the current density. You know that J bar is equal to curl, that is del cross H bar. So this equation holds good. Take it as equation 1. What is N here? N is the normal to delta S according to the right hand rule. If we apply the right hand rule to the figure A, so the current is flowing in this direction clockwise, right? It is flowing in this direction. The magnitude of the, that is the field, magnitude of field will be along the Z direction, or in the unit, along the direction of the unit vector AN bar, in the direction of the unit vector AN bar, right? That is the direction of the magnetic field intensity. Where N is the normal to delta S according to right hand rule. dl delta S is the perimeter of the incremental surface delta S. dl bar delta S is the perimeter of the surface delta S. If we consider the small surface delta S, the total perimeter, that is nothing but dl bar delta S. Now the curl H bar in the normal direction, if we consider the curl H bar in the normal direction, in the perpendicular direction, then it is a dot product of the curl with the unit vector, right? Magnitude is the curl and the direction is along the AN bar direction. So if we want to find the curl of H bar in the normal direction, in the perpendicular direction, we have to take the dot product of the curl with the unit vector AN bar, right? Direction. Unit vector AN bar, where AN bar is a unit vector normal to delta S. Therefore, del cross H with respect to N, that is given by del cross H bar dot N bar. That is curl of magnetic density is the curl of del cross H bar, curl of H bar dot dotted with AN bar. It's a dot product of curl of H bar with the unit vector AN bar. Using this in equation 1 we get, so if we use this equation, equation 1, del cross H bar with respect to N, that is del cross H dot AN bar delta S, because del cross H N is del cross H bar dot AN bar. If we substitute this in the LHS, right, for del cross H bar with respect to N, then cross product of this with delta S. So it's a cross multiplication. So it is del cross H bar dot AN bar delta S, that is equal to closed surface integral H bar dot dl bar delta S. Okay, then closed surface integral H bar dot dl bar delta S, that is equal to del cross H bar dot with delta S, because AN bar is a unit vector, its magnitude is how much? What is the magnitude of unit vector? What is the magnitude of unit vector?
Sir, vector divided by its magnitude, sir.
Correct, that is the equation, but what is the magnitude of unit vector? Magnitude of the unit vector. Unit vector magnitude is 1, is it not? That is why we call it as unit vector, right? The reason why we call that vector as unit vector is its magnitude is 1. If you take any unit vector and if you take the square root of x component square plus its y component square plus its z component square, that will be equal to 1. You can just cross verify that, right? If you take any vector with respect to x, ax bar, ay bar, az bar, and its x coordinate, y coordinate and z coordinate are present, and if you take the square root of x square, that is ax component, that is coefficient, plus y square plus z square, that will give you always 1. That is why it is called as unit vector. Okay. Therefore, here we'll get AN bar is 1. Therefore, here the equation will be simply del cross H bar dot delta S bar. To obtain the total curl, what we have to do? We have to add the closed line integrals for each delta S. We have to add all the closed line integrals, okay, to obtain the total curl. Correct? It can be seen that that's what I told at the beginning. At the common boundary in between the two delta S's, what is happening? It is getting cancelled out. It is getting cancelled out. So as it is getting cancelled out, we are having the curl only along the outer surface or along only the outer boundary. Okay. It can be seen that at a common boundary between the two incremental surfaces, the line integral is getting cancelled as the boundary is getting traced into opposite directions. This happens for all the interior boundaries. Hence, at the outside boundary, cancellation does not exist. The cancellation takes place only within the inner boundaries. Hence, the summation of all closed line integrals for each and every delta S ends up in a single closed line integral to be obtained only for the outer boundary of the total surface S. It exists only along the outer boundary. At the inner boundary, it gets cancelled out. Hence, the equation will be the closed line integral h bar dot dl bar. It is a line integral because here we are taking along the boundary here, outer boundary. This one from here to here, then back to the same point. Okay. Hence, it is the closed line integral of h bar dot dl bar, whatever we have got here in the previous equation, that is equal to the closed surface integral del cross h bar dot ds bar. That is, the line integral is converted into surface integral, where dl is perimeter of the total surface. Yes, dl is the perimeter of the total surface. Yes. Hence, the line integral can be expressed as surface integral, which proves the Stokes theorem. Here we have proved that the line integral is equal to the surface integral according to the Stokes theorem, and this is the proof of the Stokes theorem. Okay. Any doubts in this proof of Stokes theorem? This may be the possible question in examination. Make it perfect. Proof of Stokes theorem. Any doubts on this?
No, sir.
Okay. The next one is the example that we'll take up in the next class. Next class we'll take up the example on Stokes theorem, right? And try the homework problem also, right? We'll discuss it in the next class. I will ask each and every one what all you have solved. That we'll take up in the next class, right? In today's discussion, we have solved few examples on the, that is a curl of the vector. We have solved few examples on the curl of the vector and the point form of Ampere's circuital law. It is J bar is equal to del cross H bar based on the Cartesian, then cylindrical and spherical coordinate systems. Then we have discussed what is Stokes theorem, the statement of Stokes theorem, which states that the line integral of the vector A bar around a closed path L is equal to the integral of curl of A bar over the surface S enclosed by the closed path L. Then we have also proved the Stokes theorem. The LHS is equal to RHS by considering the incremental surface delta S. By considering incremental surface and the outer boundary field only exists here, the inner boundary field, they cancel out each other. So the curl will exist only on the outer surface of the boundary here, on the outer boundary. And accordingly, we have got the equation of the Stokes theorem as the line integral of h bar dot dl bar is equal to surface integral of del cross curl of h bar with respect to the surface ds bar. Right. So remember this equation and the proof. Right. So any difficulty here, students? Any difficulty here? Understood all of you? Today's discussion?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Tejas? Tejas?
Yes, sir.
Right. Any questions here? Any questions? Sankalp? Any questions?
No, sir, no doubts.
Okay. Rutik Chopde? Rutik? Any doubts? Rutik?
No, sir. No, sir. Clear.
Okay. Yes. Ankita? Ankita?
Yes, sir.
Any problem in understanding?
No, sir.
Okay. Okay, students, then we'll continue with that example in the next class, and then next is the other topics, that is on the magnetic field, its scalar and vector potentials. Those topics we'll take up in the next class. Thank you.